Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pop Spot, where I pop up all the spots I love in professional wrestling. I am your host, Sandra Shi, and this week I am going solo due to my boy AWS not being able to make the shows because he was working throughout the weekend at dark. And that comes to an end. This weekend is his last weekend at dark, so he will be back for our top talent show in November, which will be the first show back with AWS full time. Back, he was here at the last week's show talking some or CW with me, but we'll be back in the next show to talk top talent wrestling. But I'm here to talk LPW 42, Life of the Universe, and everything, along with LPWxCWS, Clandestine Wrestling Society 30, that I did attend on Thursday night. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into this stuff right off the hop. I'm ready to go. So let's talk about the LPWxCWS 30 that happened on Thursday night, October 23rd. We had before we get into the match, new ring announcer over at Clandestine Wrestling Society. We got BJ Mack. He marked out for some banana bread in the crowd. So we got into it. We had an invitation game. We had T.Y. Jackson playing Jeff Hardy, taking on Nick Shastasik playing Rob Van Dam, and I gotta give it up to Nick Shastasik. Holy moly, he looks like Rob Van Dam. Holy dang it, he looks like Rob Van Dam. That, like, the look, the gear, like, he pulled it off. Like, T.Y. looked great, coming off looking a lot like Jeff Hardy, but Nick Shastasik, with how he looked, it was almost a dead ringer for RVD. It was crazy. Really fun match. Beautiful Rolling Thunder by Nick Shastasik in this. Beautiful step over heel kick. Late in the match, goes to the top, misses the Fry Star Frog Splash. That's when T.Y. Jackson hits the twist of fate, goes up, Swanton Bomb for the win. Again, I'm going to be going through this quickly because this week, so I'm running on my own. We're going to hit this up quickly. Really fun match. I thought these two did really well here. Both men played their parts to perfection, and I think if this was an invitation game, I think Shastasik needs to do Rob Van Dam again because I thought his Rob Van Dam was tremendous. So we move on to a 4-on-4 survival match. Team Crowe, which consists of the LPW Grand Champion Stephen Crowe, along with the LPW Challenge Champion Richard Blais, Jax Wilder, and the Canadian Goose, taking on Team Sager, which consists of your ZPW Champion Zoe Sager, the Thickness Reed Matthews, Nasty Nate Nixon, and my boy Chad Money Mills making his return here. I freaking loved it. AWS was so mad he couldn't make these shows to see Chad Mills, but I was super excited to see Chad. I'm going to go through this quickly. Again, Crowe wants to start this match off, and he gets in with Zoe, and then immediately turns around and just slaps his brother in the face to tag out like a jackass that he is. Stephen Crowe, jackass. Lots of crazy stuff going in and out early. Thickness catches Blais coming at him at one point in the corner, hits that beautiful Samoa Joe style Uranagi out of the corner for two. Looks great. Just lots of crazy. Nate jumping around with jumping knees. Does the pop up Stephen Crowe into the baseball punch. Lots of great stuff here. I'm going to jump to Nate. Ends up hitting Richard Blais with the Challenge Championship that he stole from Richard Blais last month. And he does get disqualified. Zoe then comes in, hits Blais, and eliminates him so it's now 3-on-3. She jumped on Blais, so they eliminate him. This is when Crowe comes in. They starts fighting with Zoe. They fight out to the stage and the outside of the ring and on the stage, and they are both counted out. So we're down to 2-on-2 action with Thickness and Chad versus Goose and Wilder. Thickness tries the tope suicide to Jackson on the floor, but Jackson gets out of the way, and Thickness just goes diving in the chairs. Oh my god, it was insanity. Pure insanity. Goose gets Sister Abigail on Chad, but Thickness breaks the pin up. Thickness does hit a seismic toss to Goose, and Chad comes off the top with the ball-in splash to eliminate Goose. This is where Jax are fighting back against both men, shows them real fire here in this spot. Thickness ends up blind tagging in at the end. Jax goes to attack Chad, but Chad moves out of the way, and Thickness spears the crap out of Jax Wilder. Then picks him up. Blue Thunder Bomb for the 1, the 2, the 3, and your survivors of the survival match are the Thickness, Reed Matthews, and Chad Money Mills. So honestly, really fun 4-on-4 tag, setting up and again previewing Nate and Blais for tomorrow, previewing Zoe and Crowe for their ladder match tomorrow, and then previewing some people in the some people in the Battle Royal. Yeah, lots of great stuff here in this match. We move on to your main event match of the Thursday night show. It's for the CWS, the Kind Wrestling Society Championship of Salvation. It is Marz The Specialist challenging your champion of Salvation, one white shirt. William Taylor got this over the weekend, was super pumped to get it. It's a limited edition version because I got the one with the logo on it, not just the one that says Taylor. I got the one with the logo on it. So it's pretty sweet. Got this match was absolutely, these two just beat the living shit out of each other in this match. Like, they kicked the crap out of each other. Marz hits a big tope suicida to white shirt on the floor. Back in the ring later on in the match, Will Taylor gets the GTR for 2. Looked really good. Marz hits a beautiful torture rack bomb on white shirt for 2. And then they end up going out to the floor and brawling on the floor, and they get counted out. And so Spencer comes in, probably drunk, because, you know, Spencer, when he's not ring announcing, he likes to drink and he's partying with people, having some beers, and he decides to overreach and use the powers that he should with Will Taylor. This match was a double count out, but no, they have to choose to make Will fight more, and they restarted 5 more minutes. Marz hits a super kick and hits a moonsault off for 2. So Will gets the title, goes to hit Marz with it, but it's Marz stops it. Ben takes the title. Will Taylor with the rest back turned. Some people say he hit him low, but I saw an inner thigh shot. Then he picks him up, hits the what I call ape shit. That was the Tongaloa's name for the move, but it's you got a guy on the shoulder and you come down with the pile driver and he gets the win. Yeah, so absolutely incredible match. These two just had so much chemistry and just absolutely tore the house down here. So then we moved on to your main event segment, and it was a face-to-face with Stephen Crowe and Zoe Sager, essentially for them to hand over the championships to one Judge Ben Omen, and they did. They handed the titles over to Ben, and they both made their way out, and there was some tension, but they didn't end up brawling here. Yeah, just kind of a good way to kick off their finish off the Thursday night show. So we move into the Friday night show, LPW 42, Life, the Universe, and Everything, very much themed after Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So it kicked off with the grudge match after Lumberjack kind of skittering his way into this match. Lumberjack Larry Wears versus one Rich King. This was phenomenal. This was absolutely tremendous here. So Lumberjack Larry Woods comes out, interrupts Spencer when he's talking, and he demands the match starting now, so it does. Rich King makes his way out. Larry hits Flapjack. Rich ends up rolling to the floor. When Larry comes with he's acting all crazy, starts running after Rich. Rich doesn't want to be attacked on the floor and probably thrown into tables and chairs. So books off from Larry to protect himself, and he runs out of the building with that. And Larry gets back in the ring for 10, and Rich is counted out, and this is so Larry starts having a fit, because he won. He won. So why is he mad? I don't know why he keeps acting in getting mad about things when he just won the match, but that's Larry Woods. He gets mad about everything. So what are you gonna do? And we're back. Apologize if it seemed like I was a weird cut. That's some issues with stuff. So next up was a battle royal with the winner with the mystery prize battle royal. So it was an 8-person match, but there was only 7 posters released. The Canadian Goose was also in this match, but in this match we had the Canadian Goose, T.Y. Jackson, White Shirt William Taylor, the Thickness Reed Matthews. We had Marz The Specialist, Nick Shastastic, Chad Money Mills, and the debuting Kaia McKenna, who I actually got to meet afterwards. Awesome lady, and got a pin to add to my ring announcing jacket for that. So everyone ganging up on Will. Will starts to use Kaia as a shield. It was a great little spot. Lots of crazy stuff. Thickness dives onto Marz and Will on the floor at one point. So the backstory with Kaia, she's a witch. She is a witch, and she has magic powers. So everybody's trying to go to attack her. She's like using her powers to stop everybody from attacking her. It was really cool. Nick Shastastic is a cross-leg fisherman driver on Chad at one point. Looked really good. Will ends up hitting a GTR onto Nick Shastastic to get the pin and eliminate him. Goose is dealing with Kaia with some more voodoo magic there. Will ends up hitting a low blow and then an Ushigoroshi onto the Goose and gets the pin and the elimination. The Short King end up Will ends up throwing Marz over onto the apron, but Thickness attacks him. Will and Thickness fight on the ropes, and then Marz ends up dumping both Will Taylor and the Thickness Reed Matthews, throwing his partner out for the over-the-top elimination to the floor. So that was an interesting little spot there. Teammates kind of not there. Lots of brawling. Marz is Will pulls Marz onto the ropes, and then Kaia dumps him out. And so it's Chad and Kaia are going back and forth, trading roll-ups, and Chad Money Mills catches her with a schoolboy pin for the elimination. So it's down to, I think it's T.Y. and Chad here. Chad hits a Blake Blue Thunder bomb for 2, then gets a neck breaker, puts the Boston Crab on, but T.Y. reverses it into a pin for 2. Chad hits a TKO. He goes to the top, but misses the ball and splash. So T.Y. hits a disaster kick, goes to the top, and hits a 450 splash off the top for the pin and the win. So Spencer comes out to talk about the mystery prize, and he announces that at LPW 43 at the Freemasons Hall in downtown Edmonton, we are going to have the 30-person Revolution Rumble. And TY's prize is that he's going to be number 30 in this Battle Royal. The winner of the Revolution, or not Battle Royal, of this Rumble, the winner of the Revolution Rumble will get a shot at the LPW Grand Championship at the March LPW event, which would be LPW 46, I want to say. I think 46. Yeah, 46. WLPW to 46 or whatever shows at the end of March. So T was like, okay, but he doesn't want to be the 30th entrant. He wants to be the first entrant in the Revolution Rumble. So Spencer agrees and makes him the first entrant in the Revolution Rumble. So T is going to go, says he's going to eliminate 29 other people to get his shot at the championship. All power to T.Y. But that's an insane lane to run because holy crap, buddy. So we get the Revolution Rumble in November, which is going to be so much fun. So we move on to the tag team title match. It is Paralira's Sheik, it is challenging for the titles is Riley Cruz and Maurice Waltz taking on Paralira. Cheech and Chong make their way out to the ring. It's Sheikh Shabazz as Cheech and Birek Garani as Tommy Chong. I absolutely laughed my butt off at these two. I'm gonna give it to Sheikh's wig. That thing stayed on forever until it finally came off. You must have had some good adhesives on there trying to keep it on. Riley ends up stopping what they call the murder, which is the camel toss and the blockbuster combo. And Sheik low blows Maurice, who falls onto the ropes, crotching B-Rat up top, who falls off, ends up crotching Riley, who's now on the mat, who then sits up, crotching Sheik in the balls. It was just this fun little spot, absolutely tremendous little spot. The Cheers powerbomb gets reversed into double Ranas by Riley and Maurice. And Maurice hits a nice Uranagi onto B-Rat. You get the high-low total elimination when you got the sweep kick and the jumping kick combo by Maurice and Riley for 2. They set up for the assisted Blade Runner to B-Rat, but it gets stopped. Sheik they get Maurice up and they hit the murder for the win. Paralira are still your LPW Tag Team Champions. Absolutely fun match. Love seeing new talent like Maurice Waltz coming in here, and then we see the Riley Cruz, who has evolved and kind of changed up the look, still kind of the rocker, but kind of changed up the look, changed up the style a little bit. I really like these two, but Paralira they're jacked, they're juicy, and they just have pure dominance here tonight. Their Cheech and Chong gear was absolutely tremendous, but highly recommend you check out the PPW stuff that happened the night after this. It will be up on the PPW's YouTube page, and just please check out the costumes that you get from Paralira. I'm not going to spoil it for any of y'all, but I absolutely loved what they did. You need to check it out if you can watch some Prairie Pro Wrestling over on YouTube. See what these guys did, because when I saw pictures, I laughed my butt off what they pulled out. But from here, we move on to an I Quit match for the LPW Challenge Championship. This match was crazy. The Short King attacking the Mad Lads before the match, and they fight with William Tilley to the back. Then we get the match. Our Blais ends up diving onto Nate Nixon on the floor to start the match. Blais comes off the stage, jumping onto Nate who's sitting on a chair, and Ben asks if he wants to quit. Nate says no. Lots of just crazy spot. Nate ends up chopping the post, trying to chop Blais at one point. Looked brutal. Super kick on the stage by Blais. He chokes Nate with a chain. Blais ends up stabbing Nate's hand with a screwdriver. It was like, whoa, that's not cool. They each get this adjustable wrench and squeeze each other's earlobes with the wrench. Crazy stuff. Blais hits Nate in the head with Nate's cookie sheet as Nate comes off the top with a corkscrew dive. It was crazy. Blais ends up superplexing Nate through 2 chairs that are set up front end into each other. Oh, that looks so brutal. Oh God, it just hurt me. Everything they bring in this just so much crazy. So Will Taylor comes back out. They double team Blais. They hit the air raid crash super kick combo onto Nate's cookie sheet. To get Blais up, says this for them. This is where TFA comes up, pulls out Taylor, and then TFA hits Will in the head with a chair on the stage. Blais gets the barbed wire bat, hits Nate, chokes Nate with a rope. He's got up with a rope pulling him. Then he, while holding the rope over his shoulder, puts a sharpshooter on. He's got there pulling up on the rope, choking Nate, and Nate is forced to quit the match because he can't breathe. So your winner and still LPW Challenge Championship champion, Michael Richard Blais. Absolutely tremendous match. These two like destroyed each other in here. Nate was bleeding. It was crazy. Just pandemonium in here. So we ended up going to intermissions where I got to meet Kaia McKenna, and she was absolutely sweet. Nice, one of the nicest people around. I highly recommend if she's on a show, go meet her. Go watch her and meet her. Support your local indies and support your local indie wrestlers. She's absolutely great. And get her pin; it's super cool. And any other merch you can. So after the intermission, we came back with Dean Richter versus Jax Wilder. Really good match. Beautiful jumping switch kick by Jax. I gotta wonder, does like the way he hit the kick look so smooth? Like, does he have a martial arts background? Beautiful spinning fist arm by Dean. And if you know me anything about me, Dean's whole gimmick, my whole thing about Dean is everything he does is fist related because he's time to fist. He does the fist thing. Everything he does is something with a fist. Dean catches the apron kick by Jax at one point, picks him up and choke fist bomb onto the apron, looking brutal. Then he catches the apron. Sorry, choke fist bomb off the apron onto the chairs on the floor. I apologize. That was a crazy spot. Jax dodging a haluva kick and hits a spear. Dean hits a beautiful Crowe's Wrath here for 2. Dean hits the fish driver, or the seismic fish driver for a win. Look, absolutely tremendous. Broke him. And after the match, Larry, who's still mad about winning, comes out here, attacks Gene with a chair for no reason. Dude, you won. You beat you're on the record. You have beaten Rich King. Why are you mad? This is what you wanted. You wanted to beat Rich King. Stop whining, dude. You're such a jerk. But he's yelling at Thad, where's Rich? He's crying and whining. He goes to beat up Thad, but Dean ends up hitting a spinning fist arm to the back of the head to save Thad from a crazy man's beatings because Dean's a good guy. He doesn't want to see an innocent person get hurt, so he takes out the crazy man. So they zip tie Larry to the ropes. Thad asks Larry if he wants to know where Rich is, and we get a video playing on the screen, and is Rich King. He's in a house, and Larry's kind of getting mad, and then it's revealed that Larry's mom is knocked down on the floor. And Rich is playing it up. He took out Larry's mom. From what I can account here is that Rich obviously went to Larry's mom's house to talk to her and convince her to get Larry to just stop being so insane. And she probably freaked out, got all crazy with Rich, and Rich had to knock her out because he was trying to protect himself. I'm going to go with that because he's Rich King, but obviously shouldn't be hitting Larry's mom, shouldn't be beating up Larry's mom, shouldn't be taking out Larry's mom. It's not cool, but he's probably trying to protect himself. But yeah, crazy thing here with Rich taking Rich thing. Yeah, attacking Larry's mom. That's just it bewilders me. I excuses don't matter here. But yeah, this is insane. He took out Larry's mom. Larry is incensed. He's freaking out in the ring. Tia ends up coming out and helping him out of the zip tie. But yeah, absolutely crazy segment here with Rich taking out Larry's mom. And I'm like, what the frick? I don't know how to process this because Rich is probably one of my favorite wrestlers in the world, and he just took out Larry's mom. I honestly don't know how to process this, but yeah, dude, that was not cool. Taking out Larry's mom like that, no matter what happened, taking his mom was not cool. Oh man, Rich, dude, you got some explaining to do, brother. But we move on. Main event of the show. It is a ladder match for the LPW and ZPW championships. It is essentially to crown the undisputed LPW champion. But yeah, this was insanity. Just craziness here. Yeah, just pure chaos in this match. It's so much to go through in here. just beautiful oblivion out of the ropes by Zoe early on. Beautiful tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Crowe, using one of his brother's moves. Just so much craziness in the match. They get the ladder in here. Crowe ends up suplexing Zoe onto the ladder from the floor on the apron. It just looked brutal. Just Zoe hits Zoe's evil to Crowe, which is that sweeping STO. If anybody is Japanese wrestling, there's a move called Everything Evil, done by Evil. That's his finisher. So I call it Zoe's Evil because while I love her, well, I'm so happy to support her over Stephen Crowe. It's the Zoe's Evil or Everything is Zoe, whatever you want to call it. Just at the Crowe. Crowe gets a submission to Zoe in the ladder where he's got her in the ladder and then is pulling both arms back and stretching her. It looked really cool. There's a double underhook backbreaker onto the ladder while it's sitting on its side by Crowe to Zoe. It looked just, at one point she gets Crowe's fingers into the ladder and smashes the ladder on the fingers. Oh, that almost broke me there because I think everybody's gotten their fingers caught, and that's just something that hurts everyone. So Zoe versus an Irish whip into a Z factor. Richard Blais comes out. Thickness then comes out. Marz comes out because he's pissed at Thickness for trying to support Zoe here. Mad Lads attack the Short Kings here. Blais ends up coming in, slams Zoe. Zoe hits Blais with the chair. Crowe gets the chair, misses Zoe, hitting Blais, taking out his brother. Zoe goes into the ladder across the corner and Crowe gets Zoe up on the ladder in the corner and hits that double knee drop that he does. Just so much crazy stuff here. Just so much stuff. Zoe kicking him up top, and they hit the C factor onto the ladder at one point. Sunset flip off the top of the ladder by Zoe to Crowe, taking him on this ladder that's strung in between. So Zoe's climbing at the end here. Zoe's climbing to the top, and Crowe comes up the other side, pulls Zoe through the ladder, so she's in the ladder, up to her chest, she's stuck in the ladder, feet dangling in between the ladder. And Crowe goes up, unhooks both belts, and he is declared your undisputed LPW Grand Champion. And so Stephen Crowe has vanquished Zoe Sager and is now your champion. I'm sure there's no more disputing it. Crowe, you're the champion. I'll recognize that. I still don't like you. Never will like you. I think you're just a giant piece of crap who treats his brother like shit. And it doesn't help that your wrestlers ever and you treat him like crap. So I don't like you for the way you treat your brother. So don't care for you, buddy. So absolutely tremendous match. This match was crazy. Once it's up on IWTV for replay, I highly recommend checking out this match. It was crazy. This match was insane. Please check this out. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of another episode of The Pop Spot. I'm not going to do a match of the show. I enjoyed so much on this show, so I'm not going to really go into that. But yeah, so much good stuff here in the show. Highly recommend it if you can check it out. If you want to check out Love Wrestling, go over to Love Wrestling. You can find them on Tixer. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them on the Facebook page. It'll give you links to their events. But you can find all the tickets to their shows on Tixer. The next show for LPW will be at the Freemasons Hall in Edmonton. So check. It's not at the regular venue of the Rec Room South Commons. So get on Tixer, get your tickets. There's VIP front row. There's some general admission second, third, and fourth row, and then there's just our reserve second, third, and fourth row, and there's just general admission tickets behind that. Highly recommend. They're going to sell quickly. This venue is a different setup than at the Rec Room, so highly recommend you get those quickly. So check them out. You can find me over on the X and Blue Sky at That Canada Guy. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can also find me over on Our Local Establishment, where I do my show, The Pop Spot every Sunday. Come check it out. Where me and myself, Bobby Benson, sometimes Oled, check out and talk about all the sports that we've watched in the week. We just chatted some baseball. We chatted some hockey, a bit of hockey. We chatted F1. We chatted the English football, and we chatted NFL, where we do our predictions every week for the NFL weekly games. So come check that out over on there every Sunday, and then we'll be back sometime in November with a very special edition of Marvel Talk, where what it is will come out very, very soon, but I can't talk about it quite yet. But it was a very special edition of Marvel Talk coming out over on there. And you can find me also right here, youtube.com/@Backbreaker video, where myself and usually AWS are doing the pop spot, talking about all the stuff we love in professional wrestling. You can also find more content, Greek wrestling content here on Backbreaker video. With Mike's watch-alongs for AEW, which you can find here in replays on his on this channel. You can also see those live every Wednesday and Saturday, and other pay-per-view days. You can find Mike talking that over twitch.tv/Mike the Ref for all the live great content. And he also plays video games over on that channel. So if you want to see his video game stuff, check that out. Or you can watch it in replays at youtube.com/@Backbreaker_gaming for all the great stuff over there. Can I get a pop for that? Yes, I can, because I'm popping all by myself today. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for joining us here. I know I've ran through all this stuff very quickly, but just it's late for me. I want to get to sleep. So I just wanted to get an episode out, just telling you how much I love wrestling and talk about getting to see Chad Money Mills again and getting my white shirt, William Taylor shirt. I am absolutely loving that. So yeah, please support the show. Don't forget, hit the notification button to be alerted every time we drop a new video. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you leave comments down below, because we'd love to talk to you guys. We'd love to hear what you're thinking about this show. The more the merrier. We love talking to you. So please hit that hit that comment section to let us know what you're thinking about the show. And I want to thank you all so very much for joining in. I don't know how to end this show, because usually AWS does this. So thank you all very much for joining us here on the Pop Spot.